new startups adding every day. So I think with the sectors which you mentioned on pharmaceutical, IT, agriculture, those are indeed picking up. But these two new pillars which I'm seeing, which will get far stronger as we move out of this virus, is going to be a very strong cementing force. And don't forget, now what we are seeing, and thank you for that, capital does flow where it is well accepted, where it is respected, and where it gets a return. And we are seeing a lot of your financial capital cementing this partnership further, where it is working.
I couldn't agree more. You know, there's almost a supply chain of relationships that's important. And you talked about the students. It starts with students and cultural and student exchanges, business exchanges, government-to-government exchanges. You know, 2019, Canada had a record 600,000 international students coming to our country to work in universities all across the country. The number one source, of course, of those students was India. And what's different now than it was even 5 years ago is that if those students decide they want to stay and get a job or start a company, the government of Canada has really fast-tracked their ability to transition from a student visa to permanent residency or a work visa. And where in the past we would have these students come to our country and enrich our universities, often they'd have to go home very quickly because we didn't have a visa process to accommodate it. And I think successive governments in Canada have done a great job to facilitate their ability to stay here and to contribute to startups, to investment funds, to multinationals who are existing in Canada. And I think that's been a significant boost for us, because if we look to the future of how our economy is going to grow, we need global talent, because we're going to be building companies, we hope, that are helping to tackle the challenges of the 21st century economy. We're looking at the electric vehicle supply chain, from sourcing the minerals to building the batteries to manufacturing the cars to recycling the batteries at the end of life. We're looking at the hydrogen economy, which of course is going to be just one part of the energy transition as major economies shift to a net zero future. And so I think Canada has some great advantages to spur on the development of those sectors, but we can't do it without the richness of talent and academia and entrepreneurship that comes from all over the world. India's been the biggest source on the student front to help us on that path.
It's really nice to hear that, Ian, because, I also firmly believe, and so does our government here, which is what I see, that partnership is the keystone to make it happen and to go forward. I was just seeing the statistics this morning. Even though we are trying to heal ourselves with those vaccines, India has exported vaccines to over 71 countries already, even during the midst of all this. So that is, I think, a strong message from our government and our Prime Minister on how important openness and partnership is for us to work together and where we can take it happen. But let me ask you a question. If you had to do one thing which you would suggest to take this relationship to the next level, what would that be?
Well, I would certainly encourage Canadian businesses, Canadian entrepreneurs, Canadian investors to look at what is coming to Canada from India, because it has been significant. Look at the sectors where we're being recognized as having strengths and try to turn the tables on that and say, let us as Canadians deepen that relationship by building a presence in India. We have some phenomenal financial services companies, agricultural companies, technology companies, new economy companies who are starting to be a little more aggressive by expanding their global footprint. And I think if we look at the probability of a mutual relationship with what's coming inbound from India to leverage that and expand their footprint, I know that's something that the
Indo Canadian Business Chamber
really working very hard upon with their membership and trying to raise the profile of the opportunities that are coming through this inbound trade and investment. It's a lot of work. Canada has been historically so reliant upon our proximity and our relationship in the North American context. And, we all have to work harder to build our brand, build our expertise, build our relationships with other major economies. And India provides such an enormous opportunity for us. And again, I know the Canada-India Business Council is working very hard to move that agenda forward.
No, I have to give full compliments to Nadira and the ICBC for the amazing work they are doing on this one. That's excellent. And, Ian, it is so complementary when you look at this relationship. I mean, it is such a strong imperative for any company in the world to expand its balance sheet. And today, India is sitting on the threshold of being the largest single opportunity as a market opportunity, and also the fastest growing large economy on the planet. As you know, the IMF is saying that we'll be about 11.5% for these 12 months and another 6.7 for the 12 after. I think this is where this partnership takes on a new role, where it helps corporates to expand, create jobs all over the world, both in Canada and in India, and try and get the best across for wherever we partner with. Sorry, you were saying something here. There's something on your mind.
No, indeed. I was going to ask you a similar question from your perspective. Invest India has a remarkable global brand. My organization is just 3 years old now, so we look at platforms like yours who we see in different fora around the world. Your brand is extraordinary. But from your perspective, in India, how do you think the investor community views Canada? We're often a little bit hidden or obscured by the enormity of our neighbor, the United States, but I'm wondering how what I consider to be all the positive attributes for Canada, an open, fair, free trading economy with wonderful talent and universities, what's the perception from India? What do we need to work on in terms of building our brand?
In my view, we've got the blocks in together. It's now going to start taking off, and I'll tell you why I say that. Trust is the most essential element where investment is concerned. And you remember that people-to-people connect you already spoke of. That is such a strong pillar on which the complementarity and this opportunity can develop further. And when I mentioned to you about that entire startup and innovation piece, I think that is going to take off in a very significant manner, and I'm already seeing that happen. There's going to be a new Canada and a new India which emerges out of that as we move beyond this virus. So as I say, by the way, I'm more than welcome. You want to have one of your people sitting with us in Delhi in our office, always a pleasure. And please do send them, that's an open offer. We can have the teams work together to see how we can keep taking it forward and keep taking it to new frontiers. So at any point of time when you want, that offer is always open for you.
What a wonderful offer. And my team, of course, is watching, and I can just see them all putting their hands up saying, me first, me first, me first. So we have had trips, of course, to India with the Technology Council and whatnot. But we will absolutely take you up on that wonderful offer. In a global economy, we're very, very proud of our free trade relationships with 51 different countries and 1.5 billion consumers, which for a country of 37 million people is very advantageous to us. But we also need to look at major, large, innovative entrepreneurial economies like India. Find ways that enriches our technology ecosystems all across the country. We think that we have an advantage in our ecosystems of technology and innovation because we have people from around the world, in particular India, feeding into them, bringing new ideas, new innovation, new entrepreneurship, building new companies that in turn attract capital from all over the world. And I think that for us is more than a starting point, it's an engagement point that we have to continue to work hard on. And I'm very, very pleased with how we're working with our partners in India.
It's excellent here. As we start this decade, we are at about $3 trillion. And the Prime Minister has given us an objective of being close to $10 trillion by the end of this decade. So as we are going to add $7 trillion to the balance sheet of all our partners as we walk through these 10 years, you will be one of the partners. We'll be holding our hands and walking together. So we look forward.
We are so excited to be part of that journey with you and in partnership with you. And I just want to thank the Chamber for the opportunity to have this discussion with you, Deepak. And there will be a day soon where we can do this in person. And when I can visit you, and we would welcome you, of course, to meet our team and our partners in Canada as well.
Going to do that soon. The vaccine's on its way, as you know. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Nadira. We take it back to you, and really thanks to all of you to make this happen for us.
Thank you so much, Deepak, and thank you. Thank you, Deepak, and thank you, Ian. And thank you, each and every one of you, for being here with us tonight. Those of you who are here in person, and those who joined us online. There are more than 100 participants from Canada and India who are at the moment online watching this show. In the meantime, till we hope that things get better, until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Please try and meet each other if you can. And with that, I end this program. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nadir. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining us. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team ICBC requests you to please remain seated.